As promised, this has been a long time coming. It's had a hard time getting this thing all set up and everything. But anyway, we got Mr. Mills here. We're going to interview a carpet store owner as promised. Kurt, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in business and so forth. I know this is a family store, so how long has it been open and how long have you been a part of it?
This store in this location has been open since 1986. Before that, we had actually a furniture and floor covering and appliance store in town here. Got out of it for a few years. My father sold it, and then reopened it about 6 years after he sold it. So we've been in this location since like 1986, and going strong ever since. I've been active in it since 1998 when I moved back from Florida.
Okay, so 98 to, what is this, 21?
23 years.
23 years, okay. All right. Well, I've had people send in quite a few questions and stuff. If you don't mind, I'm just going to rip off some questions
Sure.
here. This is people from all over the place. This is from Jeff Junk here. He wanted to know, what is the minimum that a store pays for a small room, like a minimum rate charge? What do you pay for a minimum charge?
Carpet or vinyl, you think?
Carpet.
Just carpet?
Carpet.
This is something I sometimes overlook, especially when we become somewhat automated. But I don't think an installer should go out. If you're doing a 5x5 closet, I don't think it's worth your time to do it under $75.
Okay.
Not in this area. And of course, you're in the city, it's going to be different. But we're in a rural town in Tennessee, so
yeah,
it's not worth your time.
Sure. Does an installer get paid extra for travel distance and such, and how much?
I'm a firm believer in that because gas is not cheap. We typically do, again, this is a rural town, we typically do $35 the minute you hit a county line. If you, which is easy for us to do but around here you can be in a different county in 10 minutes.
Sure, yeah.
But we do, if somebody from our store in Manchester, Tennessee goes to Nashville, they're going to get paid $7,500 to make that trip.
Gotcha. Which is 60 miles away?
Yeah.
Approximately 60
You're
miles.
basically going through two counties.
Gotcha. Okay. All
So
right.
that's how that works.
Okay. Can you charge, this is, I don't even want to pronounce that, it's kind of weird, but can you charge for floor sanding, floor prep when laying LVP? Obviously, this guy's shop says it's part of the job and he won't pay for prep and sanding.
Floor prep, there's a basic floor prep, as I understand it, that's inherent in any job that's done. But basic floor prep to me is going to be sweeping, a little scraping. If you got to break out a sander and start breaking out sanding discs, that's floor prep. You should get paid for that.
I agree with that completely.
I mean, in the LVP, LVP is kind of going in a bad direction right now because so many installers and so many dealers think, oh, it'll go over anything. Yeah, you can lay a lot of LVP over a pea gravel. You can lay, in my own house, I've laid some over tile.
Yeah.
And that works, but there are times when you've got to do floor prep. I've literally been out on jobs where we've mixed up a 45-pound bucket of Mapei Planty Patch and filled the troughs in swags in the floor.
Wow.
So floor prep is the most important part of any job, period. And any dealer that tells you something different than that doesn't know what the hell they're talking about.
There you go. You guys know I'm firm on floor prep, so nice to have some backup from an owner. Mm-hmm. This ain't part of the question, but I'm going to throw this in there. How much? How do you charge for floor prep? Square footage, or what do you do for floor prep?
Square footage.
Square footage.
I mean, I might look at one if you have a big, huge, 20 by 20 room, and there's one area over here that's low. I'm probably going to look at maybe doing it by the foot, but also look at it. That's by the foot. Say if it's just $150 floor prep. Well, no, it's not going to take you 15 minutes, but it's worth $50.
Sure.
But on the flip side of that, if you're going out to do any glue down vinyl installation, whether it's sheet vinyl plank, anything like that, I don't care what it's on, you're getting a quarter of a foot to start.
Quarter of a foot for floor prep.
Just start, and you're not paying for any supplies. That's pure labor. I furnish the floor prep products, but just your basic labor for 25 cents a foot to start before you do anything.
That's a real good topic, what you just said there, that you furnish the floor prep and stuff like that. What all do you furnish, and that's figured in the installation prices that your installers that you have here at the store don't have to pay for? What all do you furnish as a store owner itself to get your jobs out the door?
All adhesives, all floor prep products. I don't furnish seaming tape.
That's understandable.
Don't furnish staples, things like that. The hardwood installers, they pay for their own staples or nails and so forth and so on. But I increased their pay to cover that cost.
Right.
For them. But an installer doesn't really pay for virtually anything. Sanding discs, no, I'm going to furnish those. That's just part of my overhead. And the reason I do that, I mean, none of us are in this business at all to meet hot women and make friends. We're not.
Right.
We're in it to make money. And long way back, I figured it was certain materials, Mannington, whatever, Shaw, whatever, you got to use a certain glue. I've been in the field long enough, and I've seen installers cut glue. I've seen them, I'm not going to use that Mannington glue because it's expensive. I'm going to use this cheap stuff from whoever over here. Then warranties are voided, things like that. So make the customer pay for the glue. Charge the customer in one way, shape, or form. Put a nickel a foot on product, whatever your margin you have to be, but installers should always use the right products and always have those right products available.
That's perfect. It's perfect. That was a good answer. I like that. Professionalism, using the right products for the right job.
Always.
Always. Good. That's good. Somebody give us a super chat up there. That's probably Bobby. I can't see who it was. I missed it. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Roy Keene says, how does fitting prices affect the sale? Do you lose many customers from them pricing elsewhere? Oh, go ahead. Darn, I missed that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you may lose the sale, you may not. That's just part of the game, and it's something as a retailer you got to learn to read the customer, and you got to learn more than reading the customer. You've got to find out as a retailer what their needs are, what their expectations are. So I don't worry about price at that point. If I have my customer educated enough, then I don't want them just to trust me for the sake of trusting me. I want them to trust me because they know what I'm talking about, and I want the installer to be educated enough to go out there where he can say, yes, we're doing this because of this, and not just go in there and just start slapping stuff down. Sometimes, yeah, there are going to be people who come in and are price shopping. You lose those, fine, let them go.
That's beautiful.
Let them go.
Beautiful. Nice.
Are there many young installers in my? Not enough.
I cut off part of that question there. With less installers, why is the pay stagnant? Seems like since there's less installers, the pay should be better. That's Robert Coates' question.
I've tried to increase my labor prices and what I pay the installers. I try to keep it where they'll be happy.
Yeah.
I think recently we just went up to 70 or 65 or 70 cents a foot on carpet.
Yeah.
And this is, like I said, a rural market, and I'm not sure right now if the market's going to bear it. But I'll take the hit on the labor because my installers have all worked for me for a long time. I want to keep them around to the point where I don't have to worry about them going out on jobs. I want them. It's really great to me, and it's worth paying the installers extra, even if I'm losing $1 a yard on carpet or losing $1 a yard on vinyl or $2 or whatever. To know that the customer's happy, the installer gets called back. I want this one to do my job. Billy Joe down the street here had Joe Bob do my carpet. We want Joe Bob, and when that starts happening, you're doing something right. The installer's doing something right. The dealer's doing something right.
There you go.
But the dealer, again, you guys got to make your money, and dealers can't be greedy in that.
There you go.
You can't.
Too many people out there not worrying about their installers and completely worried about making a buck. That's a big problem around the United States, and I'm hoping this interview right here will help out and open up some store owners' eyes and let them know us installers out there are human beings, and we do have a family to feed as well, and we would also like to make some money, okay? We're out there doing the labor. If a store owner, if Kurt has 0 installers, how's he gonna make any money? He can't sell no carpet because he ain't got nobody to install it, okay? We are your backbone, store owners. You remember that, okay?
On the flip side of that, it's a two-way street, and every one of my guys can come to me with the problem they have if they don't like the way I'm doing something, or if I've done something wrong on a job. They're going to tell. I'm not going to sit there and argue with them. I'm not going to say, you know, kiss my butt. You don't know what you're doing over there. No, they're the technicians. You got to listen to them. I want feedback from every one of them.
Yep.
What have I done wrong? What have I missed? Whether I missed a cut in a room, or I went into a doorway but I didn't fall over a riser. You know, let me know these things. If everybody can communicate and not. The key thing, I think, is building up trust with who you're working for and who works for you, and where it gets to the point where you're all actually working together.
That's it.
And everybody talks about the money. And everybody wants to make money. That's why we're doing this. But one thing that I've always tried to make, I always try to understand where the installers are coming from and their needs. As much as them, I want them to understand where I'm coming from. But one thing that'll never stop happening, they're always going to get paid. Always, no matter what. There's jobs hanging out there, and that's something they have to understand. And I think a lot of times they look at the store owner. Oh, screw them! I don't have to go back and do that. They should have done this. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
We make mistakes too.
Yep, that's it.
And
You said that right.
Everybody, if the communication's open, then that'll work. I'm going to rant now.
Go ahead. It's
If
good.
you're an installer that's going out there just and all it's about is just making the money, you wouldn't last here very long at all.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to smell it, I'm going to see it, I'm going to know real quick what you're all about. And I had I had a good installer who's worked for me for almost 20 years today. And this morning, he's working by himself, can't get any help. Imagine that. Sent him out today. I didn't think much about it. I knew he was working alone, but the cuts were 12 by 13.9, 12 by 13.9, 12 by 14.6. Fill cut at 12 by 17.6. Going to get a fill out of that in 2 closets. No big deal. Totally forgot that was like a 70-ounce carpet. Sorry. So, I'm sitting there saying, I'll go help you. I'll go help you, whatever. We got to, and he was mad. He walked off. Next thing I know, he'd come back. I had gone out to measure. He was toting the carpet to the job site. I'll make it work. But we all got to understand each other. We all got to communicate. If you get angry with somebody, nothing gets solved.
That's exactly right. We're all grown-ups. We're all adults. We all work for ourselves and stuff like that. Talk, okay? Don't let stuff build up. Talk to your boss. Talk to your store owner. Talk to your other co-workers and stuff like that. Communication is very important.
Extremely
in
important.
all aspects of life. Not just work, but all aspects. You always got to communicate and have a clear understanding about everything like that. If something's bugging you, go up and talk to the man.
Yeah.
Something's bugging you, store owner, talk to the person. Very good about that.
There's 2 sides to every story,
That's right.
and the truth is typically somewhere in the middle. Might be a little bit over here, might be a little bit over here, but unless we all understand where we're all coming from, it just creates friction, and you don't need that.
Yep. This is from John Steer Flooring there. He's a store owner himself, and he had a couple questions, quite a few of them actually. We're going to start right here. Does sales staff do measuring and estimating?
Again, this is a small town. I do 99% of the measuring. I do 99% of the estimating. Any estimating I don't do goes across my desk so I can double check it. And if I had somebody that was trained enough or that was knowledgeable enough to do the estimating, and I would ride with them for probably about 2 months to see what they could do, then I would probably farm some of that out. But right now, there's nobody other than installers that I'm going to trust to go measure anything. But unfortunately, they're too busy. Every once in a while, one will help me out. But I would like to develop a staff and to where I could let other people do the estimating. It's just hard to find people right now. But I would be more than happy to let that happen.
I think you answered this question a while ago. Lucas Reyes asked, can you spot a hack and do you get rid of them right away?
Oh, right away.
Absolutely.
Right away. I can give somebody a chance to to say, well, I did this, and explain it, but then you can see the quality of the work. And I don't say to a lot of these guys, there's very few jobs I don't go on after the fact to look around and see what's going on, especially when they initially started. When somebody like Ruben, he's been with me for a long time, I don't need to go back on his jobs. He says something's wrong. I don't go, let me come see. No, something's wrong. Let's take care of it. What do we need to do, man? How can we solve the problem?
And that goes back to trust and good relationship with the store owner and with the installers. How much do you stand behind an installer when the customer is being completely unreasonable? I think you just kind of answered
Ruben
that.
can answer that one.
Kurt's got our back no matter what. 99% of the time, unless it's just something like way ridiculous, he's going to have our back. And that's the way it should be. The guy should not go out there and talk about the store owner. The store owner should not go to the customers. My installer messed that up. It should not be that way. We should have one another's back. If somebody messes up on a measure, say that I'm a few inches short on carpet, don't dog him in front of the customer. Say, oh man, he's all the time messing up, blah, 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 blah. No, everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. He might have got a phone call as soon as he throwed his tape down. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Things happen. Don't dog one another. Have a good relationship. You may think that putting this guy over here down is lifting yourself up. What it's actually doing is putting yourself down, because it's showing your character. If you're going to stand there in front of a customer and talk about someone, that's actually showing that you got really bad character. Customer's going to recognize that if they got any kind of judgy character whatsoever.
I've had a couple of people a couple of installers they call themselves installers, over the years that have dogged me in front of the customers, and that gets back to a store owner real quick. And if you want to not work for that store anymore, then that's a real good way to do it. I'm not going to dog my installers. Have I seen every one of the guys screw something up royally? Sure I have. Have I screwed some stuff up royally? Sure I have. Put the wrong carpet in the wrong house. Done it. It happens. But you don't sit there and go, this installer's terrible. He wasn't, oh, I don't know what, he must have something wrong there. You don't blame, you don't point fingers. As an owner, you point back at yourself. You don't just start pointing fingers at everybody else. It's real easy to blame people. Real easy to blame people. It's tough to take responsibility. And you got to take responsibility.
That's exactly right. We're all human. We all want to shun responsibility, but as business owners, subs, store owners, or whatever, you have to. It's just part of it. Even if you're going out to fix one of the co-installers' jobs, do a repair for that installer, you don't go out there and even talk about that installer. Say, well, something must have been going on. Maybe he wasn't familiar with the carpet or whatever. Even if you're going out there to fix another guy's, it's all part of this little family right here that's a business. Okay, we're all working together. We're not like this at one another. We all need to fold and work together like a dovetail like that in order to keep this whole operation running good between everybody. Okay, so we all got to be on the same path, same page to keep everything running good. Okay.
If you got an owner, or it's just like if you have an owner or a customer that's dogging you all the time, go somewhere else.
Exactly.
Good installers are in high demand.
Yeah.
And the market's going to pay what the market pays. If you were in New York City right now, you'd be making a lot more money than you make here. But then again, we're here.
I hear it all the time on here. A lot of people say that their store owners are dirty, they don't want to pay, and they don't want to do this, and they talk about them to the customers and stuff like that. I put a lot of that blame on the installer himself, because if you are doing what you're supposed to do as an installer, you're going out there and you're producing good work, there's no way that store owner is going to diss you, going to try to make you look bad, going to try to get rid of you whatsoever. If you're doing good work, he's going to want to hold on to you. So if he's doing that to you, you need to check out and see what you're doing on the jobs, because you're obviously doing something wrong. If you're doing something right, he's going to want to keep you, okay? So if that's going on with you, check yourself, okay? Just look over yourself.
On that same note, a lot of people talk about, the owner's not showing me respect, or the installer's not showing the owner respect. Well, I hate to tell you, this is known this my whole life. Respect isn't given, it's earned.
That's right.
And just because you walk in and you're a human being, you get the fundamental respects that any human being would get, but you're gonna have to earn the respect to have it in the trade that you're in.
Yep.
You don't just walk in and there it is. Here's your respect. No. No.
This is another one from Steer Flooring. Has the shortage of installers impacted you? If it has, how?
I wouldn't say right now, I mean, could I use more installers? Yes, do I want more? Sure, maybe one or two. But I'm happy with what I got. Like I said, my guys have been with me for a long time. A long time. And maybe, you know, I would like to have one or two more good ones. You know, everything stays good, the economy's going. But as far as having a shortage of installers, I can't really say I'm suffering except from, you know, vacations and stuff like that. I know it's hurt a lot of businesses, but back to say no on the same note, or to refer back to what we were talking about earlier, a lot of them just don't treat their people well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I'm not.
That's it.
But if you're going to treat your installers like dirt,
you're going to have a shortage all the time.
and they're going to cut corners on you.
Yeah, that's
Because
exactly
that's
right.
human nature. I ain't going to worry about that.
Yeah.
He treats me like crap, so.
He's had his same installers for a long time, and it's exactly why he treats his guys good. Okay, you guys know that since just from the past couple months, I've told you all about the raises and stuff like that, and what the prices that I put out there, and then he even went above that. He takes care of his guys, and we take care of him. Okay, so it's like we said a while ago. It's a two-way street. You give and take. Okay, it ain't all take by no means. Are your installers subcontractors or employees, and why?
They're all subs. That's just traditionally how it's been. Does it make it? I guess that's just primarily because it's traditional. It'd be very difficult to put them as an employee, because then how are you going to pay them exactly? You can still pay them by the yard, but then that gets into legal problems of salaries and wages, and you don't want to pay them by the hour. You know, you send guys out, you pay them by the hour, and it's going to go both ways. You know, it might take them forever to do something that it doesn't work. You know, it's just traditionally been done by the job, by the yard, and very few installers I've ever known work by the hour.
Yeah.
You know, an installer will lose money working by the hour.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He offered me, I think it was in the late 90s, he offered me $25 an hour way back then, and I turned that down, and he come out to the job one time, and he seen real fast why I turned down $25 an hour. It just don't work. Unless you're comfortable with that, like I did an interview with Ben Boatwright, the Romanoff manager. If you don't want any responsibilities and stuff like that, and you strictly want to go in, do your job, and get a paycheck, fine. That's all good. But if you want to, anyway, different areas for different folks. Okay, if it's for some people, it ain't for some people. So
If you want to get ahead and you want your talents to shine, it's just like any salesperson. Any true salesperson wants to be on commission. And you don't want to make an hourly rate. You want to be on commission. You want to use your talents to make yourself more money. Just like an installer, you want to use your talents. Are you that good? Then you should get paid that much. You know, do you do that good of work? Are you that speed? It's not about speed either.
that's exactly right.
It's not all about speed.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I see a lot of installers that are fast over the years. I've seen a lot that were fast, and they got 100 yards done in a day in working him as helper, but they had to go back for half day to fix two things they didn't do right. Well, gee, you just kind of went backwards right there.
Yep.
Take your time, do the job right, and trust me, you'll make more money in the long run.
I think this is the guy right here that actually wanted to get a job here at one time. Remember me telling you the guy was wanting to come up from Alabama and work with you?
Yeah.
Steer Flooring has actually got a flooring store. That's why he's asking these kind of questions. Anyway, do you provide training to your sales staff on floor covering installation?
Try to. Like I said, we're a small store, so I try to make sure everybody's up to speed. We don't have a large staff, but it's very important to me. Just recently hired a new sales lady, and she's going off to Schluter School. She's already been to a couple of conventions.
Awesome.
And you've got to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no problem. Ruben goes to school. I would love for any of my other installers to go to schools. They're always open. I tell them, hey, this is coming up. You want to go? Go.
That's awesome. Do you provide? We already kind of
Yeah.
covered this. Do you provide supplies and?
Tax strip, I don't. I'm still having. That's almost one of the things like the nails for hardwood.
Yeah.
I almost have to charge the installers for those things simply to keep track of them. But then again, I've increased their pay enough to cover it. If it's some crazy job that's going to be extra tax strip or something like that, I'm going to charge the customer for it. But just traditionally, that's just how it's done. But like I said, I try to pay my guys well enough where that really is. Or say you've got 10 boxes of tax strip a week, in a week. That's horrible. But, they're not good. But if you had to buy 10 boxes of tax strip, you made a ton of money.
Sure, absolutely. This is a good one right here. What flooring manufacturers do you believe that best supports the floor installers?
I've had good feedback, and I've talked to tech services from Shaw, Mohawk, Mannington, Alllock, if anybody remember them, when they were actually really here. Most of the tile companies, not tile companies, but the more tile companies, they don't care. Mapei, Custom, Ardex. I try to make sure all the guys have some of the best knowledge they can get it. If they don't have it, they come to me. I'm going to find out the answer if I don't know it. I'm very good about glues. I want this glue for this product. Use this here, use that there. Don't use this here, so forth and so on. But we try to keep as best as we can. That stuff, it's so technical nowadays, it's unreal.
Yeah. I think, I may be wrong, but I think what he's asking is if an installer messes something up, or is the manufacturer going to be cool coming out and checking your seam? Are they going to try to find a way to blame it on the installer, or are they going to say, okay, we'll cover that? I think that's what the question was getting at.
I think the best results I've had on something like that is actually from Shaw.
Shaw, that's what I was thinking too.
But one of the unique things, I don't know if it's unique or not, but one of the things they do is their inspectors just had one up looking at a claim on some Cortec just yesterday. He doesn't work for Shaw. He just charges Shaw and he gives a report. That way everything's good and neutral. As far as that goes, the report I get back from them, they are educated in all these products. So, whether it's the installer screwed up, or this is messed up, or this was done wrong, or this is the wrong product for this application, they pretty much will let you know that. And even on the front end, if you have questions about it, they have the support staff to let you know those answers. I've talked to numerous ones that just over the phone with, like I said, Ardex, Shaw Hard Surface, Shaw Resilient, contract, that really get down and dirty. I was on the phone just yesterday with tech services from Mannington about some biospec we were installing.
You want me to grab your water in there?
No, I'm fine.
This ain't no question here, but there's a lot of people ask about this, so I want to ask you. You've already told me this, so it ain't no big deal. But I want people to hear it from a store owner. What you charge the customer for installation and what you pay your installers to install. The price difference, what do you make on the installation, and you've already told me what it is. I think it's completely fair because I completely got your back on would I pay somebody X amount of money to go out and measure, bid, deal with the customers and all that. I think it's completely fair. So what's your profit margins on installation? What do you make versus what you pay?
Off installation, that's not much at all. Matter of fact, for years we never did make anything. We never tacked anything on the labor, and I kind of thought that was absurd. I go to a lot of the. We're a Shaw Flooring Network member, so we go to conventions every 2 years in Orlando, and other conventions. Well, not conventions, but other meetings and trade shows you go to. And you talk to dealers, and I'm finding that everybody's making money on labor. Mm-hmm. Now, are they? Charging $5 a yard to lay the carpet and paying the installer $3? No, they might be. I don't know. I make about a nickel, maybe a dime a foot off labor, and most of that is not really money I'm looking that's going in my pocket. It's to cover up all the little mistakes I make, and things that I miss for them. Maybe additional floor prep. It's a little buffer for me.
Yep.
To have a little reserve. To cover my butt for the installers. So do I make some money off of it? Yes. Do I probably break about even when it's all said and done? Because I make my share of mistakes too.
So coming from the horse's mouth, is it fair for a carpet store owner to charge $6 from the customer and pay the installer $3 to double their profit, or make 100% to make what the installer is making? Is it? They're sitting behind a desk. Yeah, they're doing the stuff, but they're also making money on the sale itself. So I guess fair is in the eye of the beholder, but I think that's a little steep myself.
That's a little steep.
How do you feel about that?
That's a little much, I think. You know, of course, you know, the market's going to bear what it will. If, but that's a big jump.
Yeah.
You know, if I could get, you know, I'm happy to make a nickel, a dime a foot, which is less than $1 a yard, on a carpet job. Then that's great. I'm happy with that. But there's just so many hidden costs in there that we have to, as dealers, have to incur that aren't. One thing that'll aggravate customers on our end is, I don't want to sit there and charge my customers freight on stuff. Because you get a price up here marked on your carpet or marked on your tile. You don't want to go, and this, it makes you feel like a cell phone bill. Oh, you know, and this charge, and this charge, and this tax, and this. No, you just want your carpet, pad, here's your installation. Boom, there you go. So that's a big jump to have that much of a markup on labor, I think.
This is pretty good right here, what Lucas asked there. He said, I've asked the owner in work to pay for half the classes to no avail. Do you do that?
I'd be happy to. I mean, more than, if you want to go to a class, I mean, most of them might get people in for free. Some I know you can't, but if it's a matter of me getting the installer educated, I'm going to pay them wages to get there.
I might hit you up on that.
That's fine. No, I'm fine with that.
I love going to the classes.
I would go to more classes if I could, but if these guys get more educated, then they're doing a better job.
It's only helping him out, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's real good. I didn't expect that answer, but that's
It's like,
that's real good.
I hate this analogy and don't think I'm being condescending, but it's like, well, I'm not going to pay for my kid to go to school because what do you want to do? Live at home the rest of their life? You know, get them an education.
Yeah.
You know, help them out, get them whatever, whether it's trade school, college, whatever. But get these guys educated. They're bringing you money,
Sure.
and the better they are, then
Absolutely.
the better you're going to be.
Absolutely. NFIC had this little say and said, what if we train the guys to do stuff right and they leave? They said, what if we don't train them to do it right and they stay? So,
Yeah. If you treat your people right, they may leave, but more than likely they're going to come back.
yeah, that's right. Do you think giving installers raises pushes the buck on the customer is going to cripple the business?
No, I don't. I think for me to give an installer a raise, granted, when I did a pretty good raise across the board for carpet and vinyl recently, and even for ceramic, am I passing that on to the customer? Yeah, I sure am. But to have, if I'm paying a technician, and I want to use the term technician instead of installer, a certain amount because he has this much experience or he's this good at it, I'm not going to pass that on to the customer. I'm going to absorb that cost a little bit because the odds are I'm not going to have callbacks. I'm going to get good reports from the customer. People are going to talk now.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy was amazing. He did this. He did that.
That's exactly right.
Is that it's almost, you can look at it like you're paying them more because of advertising. No, you're paying them more because they're doing you a damn good job and they're worth it.
There you go.
So am I going to pass it on to the customer? No, I mean, their labor costs are right there. Do certain installers make more than others? I'm not going to get into all that, but no, it's just, that's something I think a dealer should absorb because you don't have to worry about, if Joe Bob here goes out to a job, I'm done. I don't have to worry about that. We're good. That's worth a little extra money, and I have no problem with that at all. I have no problem with that, but I'm not passing it on to the customer. I'll absorb that myself.
That's awesome. Him taking care of the installers like that takes care of itself like that. You got to see the whole picture, not one side of it, okay? It's a circle. This kind of, along with that, will a CFI certificate get you a higher install price?
Yes, it does, and yes, it will.
There you go. Say that again?
Yes, it does, and yes, it will. And you may have to, a piece of paper is not going to do anything. But you getting that certificate, and if you master that trade and you can go out and do stuff,
See that?
then all of a sudden I'm going to look around and go, oh, well, I got this really pain in the butt, patterned carpet that's, $60 a yard. I'm probably not going to pay standard rate on that. And I'm only going to go to an installer that I know can do that kind of carpet. So right there, he's making more money.
There you go.
Is it a harder product? Yeah, but I'm sorry, you know, it's different from steak and cheeseburgers.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's all beef, but there's a difference.
Sometimes we're not sure. What else you got?
Do they actually talk homeowners out of doing floor prep? I can kind of know that, but somebody asked it. Do you talk homeowners out of doing floor prep?
Me? No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. That would be kind of
No, that'll
ridiculous.
bite you every time. You never
Yeah.
want to do that.
Do you know how you're?
Let me jump in real quick.
Sure, absolutely.
This is something that, and you've always had to take a hard line on this with customers. And we got to remember, guys and ladies, I don't know who all I'm talking to. Average homeowner doesn't know squat about carpet. They buy floor covering about as frequently as they buy a central heat and air unit. And to us, it's second nature. I mean, I used to be a chef, and I can start throwing some words out there that y'all wouldn't know what the hell I'm talking about. And but you got it when the customers. You don't talk about a floor prep, because if they sit there and tell me, "Oh, I don't want to just throw it down on the floor," I'll be like, "Okay, that's fine." You know, there's a lot of prep. No, I don't want to spend the money. That's fine. Tell you what, do go ahead and pay me now.
There you go.
Because when I'm done, I'm not coming back. I'm not sending the installer back, because this is how you wanted it, and it's going to look like crap. That's what you wanted. Oh, you don't have heat and air? That's fine. Pay me now, and I'm not coming back.
There you go.
So we all want the job done right. If you don't want floor prep, then it's fine. But you pay me now, and I'm not sending the installer back. Not going to happen.
Good answer. That was awesome. Do they pay more for transitions, less doorways? Oh, I don't quite know what he's meaning by that.
Oh, do I know? That's an interesting thing. Do you know what you're doing a week in advance?
Oh.
Yeah, I try to, and it changes daily.
Yeah.
It changes hourly. Do we pay more for transitions, less doorways? We never really have paid for transitions. I've started to, if it's going to be a difficult thing, if it's putting down a piece of flat metal, no, I ain't paying, no, it's just, no. But if it's, if you got some custom stair nose that has to be done here, yeah, I'm charging for that. You got, if it's tricky, yeah, I'm going to charge. I've charged for transitions, and I have no problem doing that.
So this guy right here, he's actually asked a few questions on the paper here. He said he's up there where stores are charging $9 a yard and giving installers $5. That's what we was talking about a while ago. That's a little uncalled for. If they're charging that much, they should give their installers more.
That's pretty steep. I mean,
Yeah.
If people want to work for that, that's fine. I mean, it's not like the installer doesn't know what you're charging and what you're paying, but I don't know. I believe in things being transparent. Like I said, this is a business. Everybody's in it to make money.
Yeah.
Or there's an old ploy in this business to have sell your carpet at a margin that you couldn't survive on, but then your labor's really high.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going. So you can sell it cash and carry all day long, but if you're going to have me install it, and that may be the way they're looking at it, to try to get people in on sticker price.
Yep. That makes perfect sense. That's
And
good.
that's an old ploy. This I don't like that. I like transparency. This is what that costs. That's what I'm going to sell it to you at. But that's an old trick, is to make that money up on the installer's labor.
Yeah.
It's an old trick, and I don't think it gives the installers a real bad taste.
Yeah.
A real bad taste.
Is tariff tax still impacting you?
We can all talk about that all day long. Price is what the price is, and
There you go.
You got to know where it's coming, whether it's tariff, whether it's Martians, whatever. It just is what it is, and you got to deal with that. And the effects really affect everybody. We had to pull pricing off of our showroom. We used to like to have things nice and priced, but you have all these tariffs and price increases. We just had to stop, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But that's what you got to. The worst thing you want is have something at $282 a square foot, and then you go look up after the price increase, and it's cost you $260, and it's hard. They're hard to keep up with.
Yeah. Lucas Reyes says, my shop keeps their labor rates hush hush. Is that a red flag?
Hush hush from who, I wonder?
The installers, I'm sure.
I don't know if it's a red flag. It might be somebody just trying to, it's not your business to know. It's not my customer's business to know how much a piece, a good costs me.
Right. That's exactly right.
And there's different ways that they can be looked at.
The installer. That's right.
Would I kind of feel slighted by that? Maybe. But then again, if you agree to work for that price,
Yeah,
that's
it.
hey baby, that's you.
That's exactly right.
You know,
a lot
what-
of people do that.
You know, that's just if you agree to work for that price, then there you are.
It don't matter if he's paying somebody else higher. If you say, okay, I'm cool with that, and then you find out he's paying somebody else higher, oh, how are you going to get offended if you agreed to that price to begin with? That shouldn't make a hill of beans to you at all.
And then back to what we talked about earlier, if you're going to gripe about that, show me what you can do. Show
There
me
you-
why you're worth more.
There you go. That's exactly right. Wherefore is it fair? No difference in pay, new construction. Okay, so this right here, no difference in pay in new construction. I don't know why there would be a difference in pay for new construction
Don't
and
either.
a lived-in home. You're going to get paid for moving furniture and tear out and all that stuff like that. So the installation price should not matter whatsoever. If I'm installing carpet in a new house or a house that somebody's living in, like I said, because you're going to get paid for all the extras anyway. Now, if you don't get paid for moving furniture and stuff like that, definitely need some adjustment on that
Yeah.
for sure.
Now I've seen I know people who try to pay less on new construction
Yeah,
or less on commercial, which I think is ludicrous.
yeah. Commercial should get paid more. That's the way I see about it.
To do it right, yeah.
Yeah. And we don't get paid for the rip out or furniture. Well, there you go.
That's
Yeah.
not.
That's not right.
I don't think so.
No.
If they're paying you the same to walk into an empty room and do 50 yards of carpet, and they're paying you $5 a yard, whatever. And you walk into a house that's got, big living room, 50 yards of carpet, got an entertainment center, a sectional couch, end tables, plants, stereo system, a computer sitting over there, and carpet and pad down on the floor, and they're paying you the same as doing that for an empty room. Nah, I disagree with that. I don't
Yeah.
like that. I don't like that one bit.
So, do you get paid more for multiple climb to a job? For instance, I've heard you say this here a while back, pain in the butt charges. Yeah. Something that's difficult if you got to park a quarter mile away and walk. I'm exaggerating a little bit. A job's got a whole bunch of steps to go up and down all day long and so forth. Do you give extra money for that?
Yeah, if there's some extraneous labor involved, yeah, I'm going to tack on $50, $100 something, maybe something a foot or whatever, just for because it's time.
Yeah.
And I can tell stories all night long about that.
Yeah.
But there are times you need to pay some people some extra money for something because you can't get the job done in a normal allotted time. It takes a quarter of your time just in going back and forth to the room you're doing the installation in.
Yeah. Peter Blue said he works for a store that don't make anything off the installs, and should he? We kind of talked about that a while ago, but if you want to revamp that real fast.
Yeah, I used to not mark up labor at all, and just recently did it to help, not to make a huge profit off of it, just to kind of help cover some of my unforeseen expenses and things I missed. Am I taking money out of the installer's pocket? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I mean, I pay these guys well, and like I said, I think it balances out. I may make a nickel a dime a foot off labor on them, but that pretty much just covers the little things that I can't possibly keep track of. It's not making money. Trust me, it's just basically to cover expenses.
That's exactly
which in
right.
essence does help money, in my pocket. But there's just a lot of things that go on. It's very difficult to go into the details of it all. Very difficult.
Kurt, I appreciate it, buddy. We've been
Sure.
on here 45 minutes. I know you're extremely
kidding me?
busy. Yeah, it's been 45 minutes. So I don't want to hold you
No,
forever. I know
no,
you got a ton. Anybody else got any questions? Actually, I had a couple real quick. I'm
Sure.
sorry about that. I think we already covered this, actually. Should installer certified get paid more? Yeah,
think
you
so.
said. And should installer be certified? What do you
I think
about
so.
that?
I think every installer should pursue being certified in something, whether it be in carpet, vinyl, both. It makes you more marketable, makes you more valuable, makes your work better, and I have more trust in you. If I know you can do this,
Yeah.
I'm going to send you out to it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean these crappy classes where you go out and they show you some underlayment and you that's how you install it. No, I'm talking technical stuff. How you use this floor patch, how you use this adhesive, how you install this Meditech vinyl or this BioSpec vinyl, how you deal with a patterned carpet with this backing, with a wool, with any of those things, how to properly do steps.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that super chat, buddy. It's always appreciated. If anybody ain't got no more questions, I think we've already went through all these pages and stuff of questions. If you like this, please leave me some feedback. I will be trying to get to other store owners in the area, anywhere I can drive to. I'm going to start getting on the horn and try to start doing this more often and stuff, because it's pretty nice. I would really like to establish a good relationship between the store owner and the installers, and take this bitterness level like this right here, okay, and even it out. That way everybody's happy working for somebody, and everybody's happy to have somebody working for them, okay? There's way too much conflict in store owners and installers both ways, coming from the installers and coming from the store owners.
I'm gonna throw this in there, this might blow some of your minds, but there's not an installer that works for me that I wouldn't give keys to the warehouse at any given time. At any given time. If you need something, yeah, I'm gonna be out of town this weekend, here's the key to the warehouse, go ahead and get whatever you need. Just make me a list. You know, that happens frequently. And if you guys got any more questions for Ruben, you want him to ask me, we'll do this again sometime, fine, just let me know. I'll be happy to stay with Ruben anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Kurt. That's
You give him the
real
$5 now? No, I'm kidding.
All right. Hey, I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, FBSB's out.
Thanks, guys.